Let's get things turned around. All right, Porsche Cup is headed to Spa this week. We did a guide for that a couple seasons ago, got that linked up here. Track temps are quite a bit lower this time. I think they were around 117 Fahrenheit. Then they're going to be around 74 now. Guide should still be good. It's times are going to be quicker. So we'll, like I said, have had that linked up there. And yeah, we're just going to talk about some stuff. And how things are going this week, since we've already got that done. I'll put up some footage so that I can pause over my ums and ahs and all that stuff, or edit them out without you really seeing what's going on. This is a race from that season last time when we were at Spa. So things are not going the best as far as iRating goes this season for me. Had some okay races. Have had more that have not gone okay. I have been in my off time doing one race a week of the Formula Vees, and it just caught me out because I am not fast in that car. I never was. Got okay with the Formula Ford 1600, but the Formula Vees not so strong with. And giving myself like an hour or so for practice on those. And then doing my one race has me taking up the rear in the splits that I've been getting. So kind of thinking about that brings me to what I want to talk about this time. Our like I said, our iRating has taken quite the hit. If I look at the last rolling 30 days that it's showing me here in the UI, are down over 400 iRating for the rolling month. I want to get that moving in the other direction, and it's going to take some doing to do that. I believe part of what's going on there is I've gotten very used to one car as far as the road stuff goes, and you know, little to a lesser extent one car in the oval series. And for me, switching between cars is a bit of a tough modal change, I guess. Last year I ended up doing we did 3 different cars total, but 2 of them aside from the Porsche Cup, which has kind of been my mainstay for a while now. And it's always a bit of a change when we switch cars. I made a video a long time ago about you know, how iRating will take a big hit when you make a change like that. When we did the switch from the Porsche Cup to doing the IMSA GTP cars, we had a big hit, and that's, you know, kind of 2 big changes there with the GTP car and also the multi-class racing. It's a bit of a big change with 2 skills that you're kind of trying to develop there. And then also when we switched to the Formula Ford, going to the really light open wheelers, that was another big change. Kind of got my head around it by the end of the season that we were doing the Formula Ford. I don't know how going back to it would be at this point. I think it would take me a while to get back in the swing of things on that front. And with the V, I like I said, I always had more trouble with the V than we did with the Formula Ford. It's just the amount of braking that you do in those kind of cars is so different in my head, and maybe I'm thinking about things the wrong way. It just seems like you use a lot less brakes than you do in the Porsche Cup. The Porsche Cup is a much heavier car, so it's a little hard for me to get my head wrapped around. Just you know, kind of breathe on the brakes when you're going through the corners in the V, and I think I end up stomping on it too hard and overslowing the car through some of these corners, and that's holding me back a bit there. And then some of the tracks that we've gone to are not ones that I've done very often lately. They're not the tracks that we end up typically running in the Porsche Cup, although this week the V was at Oran Park, and we're heading there at the end of this season in the Porsche Cup, which will be interesting, I'm sure. And it got me thinking, you know, and I had this conversation with, I think, Zupreme on his stream, sticking with one car and trying to get, you know, work on that, no matter the tracks that it goes to in one series, versus the idea of just kind of trying to stick to the tracks that you're good at. And I've had this conversation with folks a few times, and I've always gone the route of sticking with one car and kind of running the season that way. And then when we run across a track that we've not done, or one that we're not particularly strong at, we just, you know, try and practice harder at that track, and, you know, then we get to add one that we've got a bit more experience at to our repertoire, versus just sticking with the same track and, you know, jumping in between cars. And I think both approaches have their merits. You would get to know the other way from how I'm doing it. You would get to know that those particular tracks. I don't think the folks who do that stick with one track, but just have a set of tracks that they kind of specialize in. But you would get a much wider experience in a wider set of cars, and maybe at some point I need to try that route. That way I'm a little bit better at jumping between cars when the need arises, so that, you know, if we do a team event or something like that, I wouldn't it wouldn't be quite as big a change up as it is for me here. I guess part of what had me thinking about this is that with us coming up to Spa here, there are quite a few people who are very good at this track. It's a very popular track, and I think there are a lot of people who will run a car that they don't normally run if Spa comes up in that schedule. So going into this week here, I think that we'll see a good number of people turning up who aren't Porsche Cup regulars, maybe? Excited to see how it plays out. And I think another problem I've had is that the first few weeks that we've done this here, we've had repeat weeks from previous seasons where I've not made the guides, and as such I haven't been putting as much practice in and hitting those times and getting better than I was before at those tracks, or at the new tracks, hitting the times, and I think that has hurt me a bit. So before making this video, I didn't really know what I wanted to make it about this week, and hopefully this isn't too boring or haphazardly thrown together, but thinking about things as I was practicing, because I figured we got to turn things around. I got to get my practice and my laps in. So yeah, as I was doing my laps for practice for this week, and hitting new personal bests as far as this track goes, although it's a little hard because I think we're on a different layout as far as the pits go. Spa is always the same, it's just which pit layout it is or where the start finish line is, which it's on a different one this time than it was previously, but I looked up the old time, hitting some new PBs here, which is exciting. But just getting that practice in is another big part of it too. And while I'm running these laps, trying to think of what to make a video about, that had me thinking, man, there are a lot of people out there who are really good at Spa, and it's going to be interesting to see how things come together in this week with our races. I've got an extra day off coming out of the weekend here because of New Year's, which Happy New Year's everybody out there. And maybe we'll try and do some races and some extra races and see how things go. So yeah, I don't know. It's just stuff to think about, and I have touched on this topic before. I had a video where I was talking about how I like to stick to one car back when we were doing TCR very early on. So I'll link that one here too. Why not? And yeah, If you thought this video was worthwhile, thumbs up. If you thought it was just a rambling mess, I understand. And yeah, we'll see you out there. Head on over to twitch.tv/thepiltdownman if you want to watch along live. And if you think I earned it, hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next time.